Hello learner, welcome to Manifested e-learning classes. My name is James Kenyani. We are going to continue with our lesson. In the lesson, we'll continue with solving or getting solutions on questions on the topic measurement 1. So in the last lesson, I gave 3 questions for an assignment, and we are going to go through each of those questions comprehensively. So we start with the first question. As usual, always go through that question. Go in depth before you start solving. So we go to the first question. A room has a rectangular floor of size 4,000 millimeters by 3,600 millimeters according to the architecture plan. The floor is fitted with square tiles of side 12 centimeters. How many tiles will fit on that floor? So you go to question 1, the solution. So you should know where to start. So the total area of the tiles on the floor will be equal to the total area of the floor. So number of tiles will be given by area of floor divided by area of each tile. For a very simple reasoning, I've said the total number of areas, the total area of the tiles will give the area of the floor. Even if you cross multiply, area of tiles times number of tiles will give that area. So the area of the floor, you are given the dimensions of the floor. So that is 4,000 centimeters times 3,600 centimeters. Each tile is of square shape of side 12 centimeters. So you'll say 12 centimeters times 12 centimeters. 12 centimeters times 12 centimeters. You realize the units are not the same, but you know this was millimeters. Millimeters. Point of correction, millimeter. The units are not the same. So it is easier to move to centimeters. We know 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. So this 400 millimeters will become 400 centimeters times 360. You divide by 10. 360 centimeters divided by 12 centimeters times 12 centimeters. You realize the centimeters will cancel out. The centimeters will cancel out. The centimeters will cancel out. So you'll go about it. 4 goes here. 100, 4 goes there. 3. 12 goes there. 1. And 12 goes here. 12 goes there. 30. 3 goes there. 1. 3 goes there. 10. So you end up having 1,000 tiles. 1,000 tiles. That will give you the answer. So we move to question 2, and as the first procedure is for us to read the question. You get what is in the question before you answer. You'll get the best. So we go through the question. A cylindrical metal bar of diameter 14 centimeters and length 484 centimeters is melted into metal cubes of side 220 millimeters. So how many cubes will be produced? So you've gone through the question. So we had a metal bar, cylindrical in shape. So when you move to question 2, so the metal bar will look like that, and the cube, properties of a cube, the length, the width, they are both equal. So when you are told they are melted into cubes to form cubes, you realize volume of bar will be equal to volume of cubes formed. Because you don't know how many cubes you'll get, that's why you are working out. So volume of a cylindrical shape, volume of a cylinder is given by pi r squared. So you're wondering what L is, where X is the number of cubes. This is the radius of the cylinder, and this is the height of the cylinder. So where X is number of cubes, where X is the number of cubes. So let's move to a place where we'll get space to go about it. We've gone through question 1, so you can get some space there for that solution. So we move on. So in number 2, the diameter was 14, so the radius would be 17. So we'll say 22 over 7 times the radius is 14, r squared, sorry. This was supposed to be the base area, r squared. So it has 22 over 7 times 7 times 7 centimeters. The height is given us 484. Should be equal to X into brackets. This is 220 centimeters. So you can change these. This will be equal to 22 centimeters. You can convert that. So X times 22 pi r squared H times 22 times 22 times 22. So we want to find X, where X is the number of cubes. So 7 will cancel 7. So X will be equal to 22, 484 times 22 divide by this, cancelled with that. So I have forgotten a 7 here, into 22 times 22 times 22. 22 will cancel with 22. We find 22 times 22 gives 484. So both of these cancel. So X is 7. So number of cubes is equal to 7. That will give you that answer. We are moved to the next question. Realize the formula. This was just to show how the cylinder looked like. So for a cylinder, cylindrical shape, the volume is pi r squared height. And since we didn't know the number of cubes, that's why I used x. So we'll move to the last question, which is testing a principle. So we have space there. It's good. Question 3. Two immiscible liquids. Immiscible means they cannot mix together. A layer will form on the other liquid. Two immiscible liquids A and B were mixed together in a container. Liquid A weighs 7 newtons in 1 liter container, while B weighs 10 newtons in the same container. Which liquid will float on the other? So there is a principle I talked of in the other lessons. It's called relative density. When you get relative density, you are comparing the density of that substance or liquid to the density of an equal volume of water. So you'll use which liquid? So you'll say the less denser liquid will float on the other. That is what you should first of all know. So you'll use what we call relative densities. So finding, so relative density is equal to the density mass of substance. You can either use mass of substance or weight. Weight of substance divided by weight of an equal volume of water. Weight of an equal volume of water. So we shall start with A. We shall move. We've done with this, so I think we can create space for that. So we are getting the relative density. So we start with the first one. Relative density of A. Relative density of A is equal to 7 newtons divided by 1,000 grams. Somebody asks me, where have I got 1,000 grams? They have mentioned in 1 liter container. 1 liter of water is equal to 1,000 grams. 1 liter of water is 1,000 grams. But here you have newtons and grams. You know, you have to convert to the right unit. So this comes to 7 newtons over 1 kilogram. Because you know 1,000 grams is equals to 1 kilogram. I have to convert again to newtons. So it will be 7 newtons over 10 newtons, which is 0.7. So relative density, once you've got relative density, you just put their units. So density of A is equal to 0.7 grams per centimeters cubed. I said when you get the relative density of a substance is, let's say 6, that means 6 grams per centimeters cubed, because you are comparing it to the density of water. So we say relative density of B. We shall just do the same. Relative density of B, I've described it here. We got 10 newtons. 10 newtons over 1,000 grams, which is equal to 10 newtons over 1 kilogram, which is 10 newtons over 10 newtons, which is 1. Something funny, it has a density similar to that one of water, but lucky enough we've got the density. So density of B is equal to 1 gram per centimeter cubed. So it is easy to know which is denser. It is now easier to know which one is denser. You compare 0.7 to 1 gram. So from the two, so you come and explain from the results, A is less denser than B. Therefore, it will float. It will float on B. It will float on B. Note this statement very carefully. Relative density. They have compared there with 1 liter. 1 liter container. 1 liter container. So you use that equal volume to get their relative densities. That's why when I come here, 1 liter of water has a mass of 100 grams. Because 1 liter of water is 1,000. So it's better to write has 1,000 grams. That's why it was easy for us to calculate the relative densities. So A floats on B. So thank you very much for your audience, and I think you've had enough practice on solving questions on measurement. So measurement 1. So get the concepts, and as you continue working on other topics, get the initial points you'd need for the other topics to come. So thank you very much. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.